Hey guys, you're tuning in. We're getting ready to do interviews for Gotham Season 4. So stay tuned. If you have any questions, go ahead and post them. You can manage one in black and white. Manage the black and white. Oh. Yeah. You can change it. Maybe give it a little more black. Which one was that? Members of the press here? I don't know which one's the black and white. The moon? No. The members of the press.
Presentó al miembro.
Ready for some Gotham action? See if you can manage to go all the way to the end. Oh, we do. This is Instagram, right? Yeah. Go scroll. There's that. Just call it.
We'll see how they move.
No, dude. Am I good here?
Yeah. Because they changed it.
Yeah. You guys stay tuned.
Oh, I feel like they need to show it.
Oh.
Some of them are regular.
Oh, okay. Oh my God.
What's up, everyone? It's Lewis. We're getting ready for the interviews. Gotham Season 4. Woo!
But I still think the black and white is better.
I'm gonna be with you.
Okay, cool.
Hi.
Hi.
We got a chair for you here.
Okay,
Great.
perfect.
Some water.
Robin's just in the restroom. Oh, okay, no worries. What a cool purse. Isn't it cute?
That is
It's velvet. It's actually, it might be suede. Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I love it. Thanks. You guys had a long day?
Not yet.
No. Middle of the day?
Yeah.
What about you? No, I think we got in at 10. It's not been too bad. Yeah. We have a fun party tonight. I know.
Oh, really? I was boxing, but I haven't boxed in like a couple days.
Where do you box?
Prevail?
Oh,
Do
yeah.
you go?
I've been a few times,
Oh,
yeah.
so awesome.
It's good.
I've not been in like 3 days.
Have you been to Gotham?
No, I haven't yet. But do they have one here?
No,
Do they have one in New York?
yeah.
But yeah, I love
I know. I remember Prevail. I was like, oh, Greece.
Yes.
Because you don't realize that you're doing so much. I know. It's crazy, huh?
How's it going? What's up, everybody?
Look at all these mics.
I know. So many So, hey, how are you? Nice to see you too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So you got a brand new hairdo.
I know, yes, totally. A new do, new me, you know, yeah.
But I also noticed that regardless that your hair is hi guys.
Hey.
Okay,
Okay, you guys are ready? We got 15 minutes. I'm gonna close the door. We've been going.
I love both haircuts, by the way.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
The new one makes you a little taller, but Bruce is still taller than you.
Thank you so much for pointing that out. It's so funny though. I meet people in real life and they say, "You're much shorter than I thought you were," and I'm like, I'm playing the freaking penguin. Like, do you think like I'd be 8 feet tall? I'd be the penguin. Come on, all right, yeah.
But what I'm getting at is not that you're short, because you're actually taller than me. But,
Oh, I don't know about that.
but is that Bruce is now he's huge. He's a man now.
You know, they grow up so fast.
How old is he when he started?
He was 13, I think.
Wow.
13. Yeah, that would make sense. 13.
So
'cause
he has
16.
gone through puberty.
It's been
That's
I mean, and,
crazy.
you know, in our hallway where we shoot the show, we have all the photos from the premiere from season 1, like everyone's character photo, and little David's like a little smush, like it's like so adorable. But again, it's like it's part of like I think it's a really poignant thing to be part of, because these kids, we're watching the kids grow up and we're watching them, you know, become adults in front of us. And it just adds a little bit of authenticity to the show, you know. It roots it in a real experience, you know, which I think is really brilliant.
Especially because he's going through so many changes this season.
Yeah, right. He's
coming into
like adulthood, you know, in a way, young adulthood.
I noticed both of you are paired here for the Fox press day. Are you guys gonna? You're a mysterious new character. I want to know. My question is: Are you guys gonna be working? Are you gonna be working with the baddest man in Gotham, or what's gonna happen?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
First of all, I'm working with a phenomenal actor.
Yes.
Who most of my scenes are with him, and I'm so
Ben McKenzie.
I'm talking
He's
to
fantastic. He's amazing. So
he
a lot of
is
scenes with
equally
him.
as amazing. But Rob was the first person I met on set, and it sort of set the bar for everything. It's so phenomenal.
Oh,
And yes, Sophia does realize that my character's name, that she's working with Penguin, the big boss man, and I think that she finds that a welcome challenge to mess with him a little.
Yeah, and it's also to
Which is
reclaim
fun.
her family name in a way, because
Yeah.
like, you know, Penguin did it dirty to Don Falcone, basically like stealing his entire empire, and it's, you know, it's time for a little comeuppance actually.
Mhm.
She brings it, let me tell you.
So I read that you're gonna be the love interest.
Yes.
For Red McKenzie?
Yes, that's right.
And what else can you reveal?
I don't know exactly how that's gonna end up. I think it'll be fun to see whether or not those feelings are genuine and how they play out in the season and what that means for Gordon. You know, an interesting idea would be that James Gordon is dating a Falcone, and how does that work, and what does that mean?
He knows your trouble.
Yeah, exactly. What does that mean for Gotham, really? So it's really fun to do.
There's also this like fun, well, especially for me to play, like there's a fun kind of, I would say, Victorian kind of flirtation between the two of us, you know, which again is just like, I've said it before, but like anytime someone comes on our show, a new character, and especially if I, you know, myself, if I have like such intimate scenes with them, like she's telling me things about my character that I didn't know, you know, and she's like unlocked things, you know, about the character that, I had no idea were going to happen. It's just such an amazing ride to be on, because it keeps it interesting. It keeps it like, you know, alive, and it doesn't feel stagnant, you know, and for an actor, that's just basically death. I mean, that's just like, and our show is just absolutely not that in any way. So she's a really welcome member of the family.
How has it felt integrating into a cast that has been so established for 3 years?
I think it was daunting at first because I didn't know, you know, it's kind of like going your first day of high school, and you don't know where you kind of fit in and what that means for such a year of your life, essentially. But like I said, Robin's the first person I met, and I think it really helped me. And thank you.
Of course.
Because it really helped me to feel welcome and safe. And also you're in New York, so you kind of know that if people don't like you, they're going to tell you. You don't have to worry about like any kind of fake, you know, pretenses. So it's really, all in all, it's been quite amazing. Yeah.
What's the welcoming ritual on the set? Because you have new characters.
I don't
What
think
is it like? I mean, for Robin, do you guys have a ritual or?
Well, no, there's no ritual, but I always like, I make it a point, especially if I have scenes with someone coming in, to like go up and just, you know, welcome them to the family, because again, our show is so dark, and you know, it's a difficult show to shoot. You know, it's a long season, 22 episodes, and we work 14 days, maybe more sometimes. And, you know, I just want, like, anyone coming in to really feel like they're part of the family, because, you know, you don't do good work when you're worried about that kind of stuff. You know, your work suffers, and I don't want her work to suffer, because then that'll affect me too. You know, it's like we're all very connected. on our show. And I also remember being a guest star on shows and like coming in for an episode here and a thing there and a day there and a day there. And I've been on sets where it's been incredibly warm and loving, like the Walking Dead set. I don't know if you guys get to talk to those guys, but those actors are all beautiful, wonderful people, and they just embrace me. And I remember leaving that set being like, all right, if I ever get on the show, where I'm a regular, I want to make that experience for everybody else who comes in, because again, it's just like you want to do your best work and you don't want to be worried about any of that other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The relationship with Nigma, I mean, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Last season, you guys build it up, but now he's like a trophy piece for Penguin.
That's right.
Is that what is going to be established from now on, or are we going to see more of him?
Oh, you'll see more.
too?
You can't keep Nigma on ice. The entire season. Come on, what a wasted opportunity. No, and I know it's a spoiler, but I don't think anyone's surprised that he will find his way out of the block of ice, but he is like everything that happens to people, it changes him, and so there's a different dynamic between Ed and Penguin, at the top of the season, and then as we go through and come back together, it'll be even more. It'll just be richer and more grounded in something different from last year, but still they're part of each other's lives. So.
Great work.
That's it. Thank you.
With the growth of your character, because seeing you from season 1, where you're like the Penguin being the shy guy, and now taking control and really being the head of Gotham.
Yeah.
I mean, what are we going to see from? Are we going to continue to see that growth? Because it's fun to watch that transformation to the Penguin.
Yeah.
That we know.
Yeah. Well, yes, of course. As we start out, he's top of the Gotham underworld. He's running the show. He's actually found a way to license crime, and in doing that, he's actually brought crime rates lower than they've ever been. So thank you, Jim Gordon, for all your hard work. But I got this. No, it's and so that's where we start off. But it's Gotham City. Every time you achieve something, you got a big target on your back, and and people come to the city from other places in the country, and they shake things up, and they
Is the
Get in there.
just
Is
get
it
in there. and-
is the Scarecrow going to be like your big nemesis?
I'm not sure actually. Not really at the beginning. I mean, my big nemesis, it's that I have many on the show. There's obviously the stuff with Enigma. There's a rivalry there, and but again, I have to say, like one of the biggest challenges, one of the most difficult people that he will have to deal with this year is Sophia Falcone. Like she comes in, and she just in her actions at the top of the episode, immediately she has affected everyone's life in Gotham, whether they know it or not. So
Like any good woman should.
that's right.
My favorite Batman is Batman Returns to Tim Burton.
Yes, mine
I'm
too.
wondering if you're a fan of that, you say you are, do you take inspiration from his version of the Penguin with Danny DeVito?
Absolutely. I mean, it's obviously it's a very different take on the character.
Yes.
That was that movie is so brilliant, and that was a very beautiful Tim Burton-esque, grotesque iteration of the Penguin. We're doing something different here, but at the same time, I've watched that movie a trillion times since I was a kid, and to say that I'm not influenced by Danny or even by Burgess Meredith, it would be a lie. Like, they're part of my life. They're part of your life. They're part of, we all grew up with that stuff, so it's in there somewhere. I didn't specifically say, oh, I'm going to take that. But it's just more the feeling of the character and the feeling of the world, and the fact that the Penguin is obviously evil and conflicted, but he's also funny. Like there's humor there, and this year in particular, we're really bringing out some of the humor with the Penguin, which I really love because it's a different place to take the character that we haven't really seen so much of yet. So this year it's pretty.
Well, keeping with the canon, celebrating 25 years of the Batman animated series, so
Yes.
I'm wondering if either of you are familiar with it, and if granted it's animated, but it was full of drama and it's really ahead of its time.
Yes.
Any inspiration from that, and are you fans of just the overall mythology of what is Batman?
I'm a huge fan of Batman. I've never seen that though.
The animated series?
Oh, is it good?
Yeah, it's brilliant. And I
Oh.
say, people ask, what previous iterations of Batman really influenced Gotham, and the animated series is right at the top of the list because it's just
Really?
25
visual.
years.
Yeah.
From 92 to 95, it was a run, I believe.
Wow.
I know.
I've seen interviews where
25 years.
I'm right there with you.
Yes, there we go.
It's no secret that cinematic universes of comic book interpretations are blowing up.
Oh yeah.
So, but there's always been a question as to we fall in love with the characters you guys play on TV on a weekly basis, and it's natural for us to want to see them on a big screen. Is that something you think would be possible, especially for you since you've done the Penguin for a long time, or has that ever crossed your mind to like actually be with Ben Affleck?
Oh, sure. I mean, that would be amazing.
Why not?
Why not? Right. Let's do it. Let's go. It's hard. I mean, anything's possible, I'm sure. But again, the TV world and the film world, they're separate entities. And again, like I think it might be. We're telling such a very specific story about the Penguin in Gotham. It'd be interesting to see how they would exactly fit that into a cinematic version. But I'd be down. Whatever. Yeah.
But he's not. Is he? I think he's not in the new film, is he?
Well, the thing is now we have shows like The Flash.
Yeah.
Multiverses,
No,
so
but Ben
they
Affleck.
actually pull
Is he
you
just
guys.
out of?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's in the new.
Oh, I think
He's in the Justice League, but I don't know. If
Yeah, I
he's
think he was
on
back.
Hi.
Hi. How many episodes have you shot already for the new season?
We're on episode 9
Yeah.
of 22.
Wow.
We're not even halfway. Welcome. How you doing? Are you excited for the winter? Freezing our asses off and.
It feels like it went by quite quickly, though.
Yeah.
Really
well,
fast.
once the train starts going,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, it's wild.
So they've been long days.
Oh
they've
yeah,
been long
there's
days.
well you look at a show like Gotham and I'm just like so proud of our team and the way the show looks, just the look of the show from the big from like the giant set to the smallest like intricate detail on the costume. I mean it's just so rich. Takes a lot of time to put that together. It's long days, yeah, but it's worth it obviously.
Crystal, for you, joining a show where people die but they come back,
Mhm.
is that a little bit of a relief? Knowing that,
Yeah.
I might get killed off, but there's a chance that they come back.
It's
Well,
true.
yeah.
I think technically you can't. I think the DC world you can't kill someone unless totally can. Right? Is that right?
I don't know.
I'm not
I
sure
mean,
because
we
because
have fun.
Is that right? Yeah. So I have assurance that I'll come back if I die somehow.
Yeah.
Somehow they were.
Yeah.
They come back. I mean, Superman.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah, this is a Game of Thrones. Like, we're bringing people back. It's like we like her. Well, yeah.
One of the interesting parts about the show is the complexity and the relationships between the characters.
Yeah.
How do you feel getting the script and seeing the story arc that's evolving through every single episode?
It's incredible because again it's like I don't like to know too much in advance what's happening because it feels more authentic if I don't. It's like closer. My experience is closer to that of the characters. That way. But yeah, I mean this has been happening for me like the last 4 years. There've been so many times where I'm like, oh, new episode. I'm like reading the script. I'm like, what the. And like throwing it across the room, like like twists and turns that I had no idea, and like previously, like we'll bring things back, and it turns out I've been planning this thing for like 7 episodes. I had no idea.
Yeah.
But it's incredible, and again, like 4 years in, the characters just become just more rich, more detailed. Just it's more immersive, and I love that about it. Yeah.
Is there any villain from the Batman universe that you would want to team up with as a Penguin?
That I would want to team up with. I mean, I would like. I think like a Harley Quinn moment would be really exciting. Although she'd probably be like 2 years old or something.
Yeah.
But like that, and also like I would love to. I think a really interesting dynamic would be the Penguin and Jerome, who is our proto Joker. There's something about Penguin is about order and control and like and just order and control, whereas Jerome is about anarchy and craziness and no order and just chaos. He's like about the chaos, and that's goes so against the grain of who Penguin is. So I think that would be a really fun dynamic to see.
Yeah,
so,
that'd be good.
who knows, yeah.
Would that be a confirmation that Jerome is the Joker?
What's that?
Is Jerome really the Joker?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, the way what he is now is he is not. He is an influence. He's creating the cult of the Joker. So someday if it's not Jerome, if it's someone else, it'll be someone who is obsessed with Jerome, is obsessed with who he is, and I think that's exciting. I mean, it frees us up in a lot of ways, like we don't have to like stick to like one specific mythology. We can actually like expand and like, and let me just say like Cameron Monaghan, who plays Jerome, is just could not be more brilliant, and just the layers of his performance are so exciting. That's another like stupid, selfish reason why I would love the Penguin and Jerome to have
You went
scenes
after
together,
them.
because it would be just really fun. So, yeah.
One last question. You know, sorry. You know, sometimes I feel what LA Gotham is a 12 Monkeys-esque version of the, or, you know.
I love that idea. That's great.
They're going off of something that they think is, but isn't, like the Jerome situation, creating the cult, but maybe that's not how it started in the first place. You know, but you don't find out until the end.
Right, right.
You say you know more about your character than most. Are we looking at another fifth series already confirmed?
Oh, no, there's no confirmation yet, but I mean, we're crossing our fingers. I mean, we go forward, like, everyone who works on the show really, really believes in it, and, you know, and thankfully the response from the fans has been, you know, incredibly positive, and there's just energy behind the show, and there's just, you know, people want to see more and more and more, and that's really, really validating. So hopefully there'll be a season 5. But, you know, again, we're just on 9 of 22, so talk to me, let me just get through this, all right, man?
So WonderCon is when we get back.
Yeah, right, exactly, yeah, I'll see you at WonderCon.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, guys, thank you.
We love your break, by the way.
Thank
She
you.
was calling you
Oh,
out.
thank
Beautiful.
you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Awesome, thanks, guys, have a good
Bye.
one.
Thank you, breaking
Cheers, yes,
Thanks,
cheers,
guys.
thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks for always being so welcoming.
Of course, absolutely, and to you as well.
Ciao.
Makes
Kudos
it a
on the
lot
purse.
easier.
Again.
Take care.
I'm so used to watching music shows.
Como in like in about a minute, they're about to bring the
Oh, Brianna.